chances are that you know about implant retained overdentures. However, are you aware that there is a much more affordable and less complicated overdenture system for your patients? It's the Root Retained Flexi Post-Overdenture System. The simple technique starts with post selection. Post sizing begins by making sure there is at least 1 mm of tooth structure lateral to the most apical placement of the post. The post hole preparation begins with the removal of the root filling material using either a Piso or Gates Glidden Reamer. When 100% of the post hole length and 90% of the width have been achieved, the primary reamer is used. Since the Flexi-Overdenture will fit optimally if a more concentric hole is maintained, the number of entries into the post hole with the primary reamer should be limited. The countersink drill cuts 2 preparations in one operation. It prepares the seat for the second tier, as well as the seat for the flange of the post. We will now try in the post. Place the Flexi-Overdenture post into the post wrench. The Flexi-Overdenture is trial inserted to ensure accurate fit and position. During the trial seating, if moderate resistance is felt, the post may be backed off 1/4 to half turn and then advanced again. Advancing while backing off 1/4 turn when moderate resistance occurs is repeated until the post is fully inserted and a thread is created inside the root canal for the post. This procedure will remove debris from the thread line and facilitate insertion. The trial seating creates the thread inside the root canal for the post. If this was a solid shank threaded post, insertion would cause a dangerous concentration of stresses. However, because of the split shank, as soon as the threads touch the walls of the canal, the 2 legs of the post collapse upon themselves. Rather than embedding themselves 1 mm into the canal walls, they embed themselves only about 0.01 mm. That represents very little embedment and, consequently, very little insertional stress. The second most apical thread now follows in the wake of the most apical thread. Because the second thread is further up the shank, it has less ability to collapse. As a result, its thread embeds itself 0.03 mm. However, the increased amount of embedment is only 0.02 mm. Again, very little additional embedment and, consequently, very little additional insertional stresses. The third most apical thread follows in the wake of the previous 2 threads. Because the third thread is further up the shank, it has even less ability to collapse. As a result, its thread embeds itself 0.05 mm. However, the increased amount of embedment is only 0.02 mm. Again, very little additional embedment and, consequently, very little additional insertional stresses. It is extremely important to note that the flange must always fully seat within the countersink preparation. Alterations should be made to the apical end of the post if the post does not fully seat. The legs of the shortened only after the post has been trial seated and the internal threads have been created. Since the internal threads have now been made, the flexible legs are no longer necessary. The dentist can reinsert the shortened post. The thread of the post will find its way into the already created internal threads of the root with minimal stress being produced. Now let's review the procedure for incorporating the denture attachment. Prior to post cementation, if shortened, reinsert the post and make sure the flange is fully seated within the countersink preparation. Upon ensuring a fully seated post, you may remove the post and then cement it in place. Make sure the rubber band is covering the height of contour of the head. If not, there is a risk that the cold cured acrylic could lock in under the head, making removal of the denture difficult. Place the nylon attachment cap on the post and mark the cap with marking paste. Place the denture over the ridge and remove it. The mark indicated the spot in which to relieve acrylic in the denture. Repeat this procedure until the denture fits passively over the cap. Now place cold cure acrylic into the relieved portion of the denture and place over the ridge, and let set. Use a natural pink self-curing acrylic in case there is any perforation of the denture. Remove the denture when set. Remove the rubber band on the post and discard it. It is no longer needed. Here you can see the final nylon cap incorporated into the denture. Note, the same technique can be used to incorporate the optional easy change metal housing and screw-in nylon cap insert. When using the optional easy change attachment caps, upon wear, the dentist can quickly unscrew and replace the nylon inserts in seconds.